And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Thornton Speedway as we get ready for our 6th race of the season here in Season 7 of the NNSCRA Mobil1 Cup Series. Today we were at one of the most treacherous, dangerous, and career-threatening tracks on the Enter 2003 circuit. We are here at Thornton, here in Thornton, Illinois, home of the Turn of Death. This is going to be a very, very nerve-wracking race for drivers, fans, and commentators alike because everybody knows that there is no guardrail separating these drivers from a possible fate of falling off an 80-foot drop to a beach below coming off the final corner. We have seen drivers fall off the Turn of Death as early as the very first lap and as late as coming down to the checkers. What's going to happen here today in this Mobil1 Cup Series event as well? It's not only a nerve shaker, it can also be a point shaker as well. A lot of top contenders in the points have ended up falling off the Turn of Death so far this week, and we expect to see no different here in the Mobil and Snickers Cup Series races here to come. On the pole position for today's race is going to be Cody Lamas. I believe this is his second career pole of the season. Cody comes into this race 9th in the point stands, and he's a former winner this season as well. He won back, I believe it was at Las Vegas, if I recall correctly, and he'll start off alongside of Zach Campbell. Campbell comes into this race currently 22nd in points. He started the season off well, but now he's been steadily dropping his way through the standings. He's going to try and rebound here today at a track treacherous as Thornton. On the outside of row number 2, that's going to be Jacob, or the inside of row number 2, I should say. This is a rather reversed kind of starting grid, as Lawler will start in 3rd position. Jacob Lawler comes into this race 41st in points, so he really needs a good run here today. And Anthony McCurry, 24th in points, will line up alongside of him in the Monster Energy Audi. So we're going to have to see how these drivers do here today. And I believe rounding out the top 5 is going to be Ian Dutta in the 88. Dutta comes into this race 38th in points. So some drivers coming in doing well in points, some drivers coming in not doing well in points, but they got themselves good qualifying spots for today's event. But enough talk. It's time to get these cars rolling off, and they're going to complete a couple pace laps. And while they complete those pace laps, we are going to show you your starting lineup for today's Checkers versus Career 300 here from Thornton Speedway. Pace car is going to dart away from everybody else. Everybody else they're going to roll off very lazily. And I'm sorry to say, I made a mistake. George Roque is actually starting off from 5th. Ian Dutta is not. They both run the Hellman scheme, so it's hard to tell them apart. But anyway, here is your 42 car starting lineup for today's race here at Thornton. Ready to go green. Cody Lamas about to put us underway as the green flag is out, and we are underway here today. We're going to be keeping the spectator cam on for majority of this race, since that seems to be the best camera angle around this very long road course. As Cody moves into the lead, Jacob Lawler using the outside line to get around Zach Campbell for 2nd. Campbell now slips back to 3rd, side by side for 4th, and here comes Lawler looking to the inside on Cody Lamas here through the S's. We will be switching over to television camera number 1 once they get to the Turn of Death. That's the best angle to be able to see if anybody is going to fall off the 80-foot drop, as Lawler continues to battle strong there with Cody Lamas. We're going to have to leave this battle, though, real quickly to see if anybody had any troubles through the S's. One driver has. He's already off track. That's Kyle Matthews. Tanner Sullivan is way behind here. He's got a little bit of rear-end damage. Ralph Mason way behind traffic as well. Everybody else, though, looks like they have been able to get through okay. I don't like the way this is looking back here, though. Dylan Poteet, last week's winner, Daniel Day, Levi McIntyre, Dylan Young, they are all really close here. Whoa, Jessica Shelton, a power move there on the high side, and it actually got her around all these guys. I think she's now moved up into maybe just outside the top 10 with that move. That was a very strong move on the outside line. There's still 4 wide behind him. Zachary Robinson, Trent Dunham, Austin LaPlante, Luke Walker all there, all bunched together. Oh, LaPlante actually had to go through the grass a little bit there, and there's still 3x3 back there. There's Jake Rogers trying to get around the high side there of Luke Walker, Trent Dunham. Joshua Collard is also back there, along with Charles Jackson. Now it looks like as they get to this narrow highway part, they're going to settle it out to double wide racing. That's a good sign. 3 wide's okay here, but not exactly advised. And Cody Lamas was apparently able to get back around Jacob Lawler. He's the leader still. Zach Campbell into second. Lawler into third. And a good battle for fourth now. Andy Timmons, our winner from the Milwaukee Mile, side by side with Anthony McCurry for that position. Right behind them, Jake Cole, waiting to see what line will open up. Looks like he's drafting with a 61. We're going to have to keep an eye on the rear of this field here coming through this corner because we know we've seen a lot of really crazy flips. And there was one right there. Cody Lamas and Zach Campbell just got together. The 2 leaders. Look out. Andy Timmons is piled in. Poteet is piled in. Oh my goodness, they're all piling in there. I saw Samford's got damage. There's some others there too, and I can't even tell who they are. McIntyre may have some damage. Chris Washer may have some damage. We'll be definitely having to look back, see what other drivers may have gotten a piece of that incident there. Lyndon Wright's on pit road. He must have been involved. There's Timmons, Campbell, Lamas, who started both on the front row. Kyle Matthews still trying to fight his way back on the track. Levi McIntyre got a piece of that. There's Samford, Bob Jones. They were involved. Tanner Sullivan may have been involved with Cassandra Renzi and Ralph Mason. Don't know for certain. We know that Tanner Sullivan and Ralph Mason had something happen earlier, so that may be why they're so far back right now. Oh, Jessica Shelton sliding, and Poteet is caught in some groove of the track. I think he's teleported back to pit road, but there's Shelton. Wait, let's get back to the 3. There's the 3. Trying to return back to the track. I think she and Poteet got together, and for some reason there's a train going through the grass there. I think I just saw it. Whoa, Jessica. Whoa! What in the world is going on? What did she do? Did she just glitch through to the beach? Jessica Shelton, I think, just glitched through the entire map right there. And she's hit the beach, and the car is exploded. The engine's exploded. Lawler's right now the leader. There's Poteet. I think he and Shelton got together. Matthews has not yet been able to get back on track. There's Jace McLeod, Austin LaPlante, Madison Seaver. I think all these drivers were held up from that incident that took place there up at the front involving Cody Lamas and James Silverfox. Oh, Wolfgang Mason's got quite a bit of rear-end damage on his machine. But, I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, McCurry fell off the turn of death. I didn't even get to go back there to find out. Lawler has fallen off as well. Is anybody else going to go off the turn of death here? Didn't really get a chance to see McCurry falling off, but apparently he did, and Jacob Lawler did. Whoa, Drew Austin nearly went off. I'll tell you, so much action goes on here, folks. It's so difficult to be able to get back in time for when these drivers do approach the turn of death, and especially with the incidents that have taken place, it's really spread the field up. So as we're looking at something that happens at the rear of the field, the front of the field could be up at the turn of death at that time, but we do know that Anthony McCurry was involved. Was that a street cleaner? I think there was a street cleaner right there. But Anthony McCurry, Jacob Lawler, they're involved, and I think that's actually, if you look here very carefully, I think this is the pole sitter, second, third, and fourth that all were involved in this. Madison Seaver's on pit road, James McLeod's on pit road, so too is Deanna Shelton, Lyndon Wright, and the current leader right now appears to be Henry Nova in the 32. That is indeed the case. Henry Nova is currently scores the leader, Jake Cole in second, and those two have actually opened up quite a gap between themselves and this battle for third. Luke Walker's got it. Charles Jackson right behind him in fourth with Dylan Schwallenberg in fifth. Last week's winner, Daniel Day, is in sixth. Seventh is Dylan Young right now. Eighth, Sean Galligan. Ninth, Trent Dunham. And Joshua Collard's currently 10th with Harrison Langford right behind him in 11th. 12th is George Roque. 13th place right now under contest between Wolfgang Mason, James Qualls, James Silverfox, Sean Henley. 17th place, Jake Rogers. 18th, Zachary Robinson. 19th is Ian Dutta. 20th, Zach Rogers. Drew Austin currently is in 20th, or 21st, I think, actually now. 21st is Kyle Corbett, also Plant. 23rd, 24th, Joshua Michaels. 25th, Tanner Sullivan. 26th, Chris Washer. He got around Cassandra Renzi, who's now back in 27th. 28th, Bob Jones. Ralph Mason's 29th, but apparently off the pace. Something's amiss on the 09. Madison Sieber continues on. She's in 30th. 31st now is Levi McIntyre, who's trying to close in on Madison Sieber. Take that spot away. He will. Move Sieber back to 31st. 32nd is Jace McLeod. And now Kyle Matthews apparently has found that spot, that gap in the racetrack, trying to get back on track, and he'd hit the wall. Like his day may be over now. We've seen that before. And it apparently has happened again. And Jake Cole has now gotten around Henry Nova for the position of number 1. Wow. Really hard racing back here, though. Good heavens. Charles Jackson, nice move there to get around Luke Walker via the high side coming onto this highway stretch. Dylan Schwallenberg right behind. And I was actually looking here. We've been looking at all these wrecks and everything that have been going on. We haven't really paid much attention to a possible battle for the points lead. A couple drivers who came in running well in points have actually been involved in some stuff here and may not end up finishing out today's race very well. Ralph Mason, second in points. We saw him off the pace. Also, Lyndon Wright sits on pit road, fourth in points. Sixth in points, Kyle Matthews, we just saw, tried to get into the racetrack via that gap, but ended up hitting the guardrail. Andy Timmons sits on pit road, badly damaged. And Cody Lamas, the pole sitter, ninth in points, also is on pit road. And will more than likely not be finishing out today's race. So that means that the drivers we're going to be keeping an eye on as far as the points battle, I think, are going to be Levi McIntyre, the current points leader, Sean Galligan in third, Dylan Young in fifth, and possibly Dylan Schwallenberg, who we know is up inside the top 10. He's in eighth in the point standings. Now, the one driver that looks like right now things are going very well for him to be the points leader is right there. And that is Sean Galligan, but there's Dylan Young right behind him. Now, Galligan and Dylan Young, they're separated by 8 points in the current standings. And they are not letting each other out of sight. Dylan Young actually just hit the wall there, though. Whoa, watch out, Galligan! Oh, what a save! What a save! Oh, we're actually coming towards the turn of death. I apologize, I almost missed it. So let's go to the turn of death here. The TV1 camera, see if anybody is going to fall off this time. Front two are single file, so they will not. Here comes that second group. Let's see if anybody falls off this lap. Walker looks good. Oh, whoa, whoa, man. Make that Schwallenberg, Dylan Young, Trent Dunham all playing with fire. They all make it through. Single file for all these drivers. They should be good. Just don't want to go double wide. Corbett, LaPlante, Michaels, Austin, they all get through. I think pretty much everybody else is all single file because they're all so spread out. So let's jump back to what I was talking about before, and that would be Sean Galligan. There's Dylan Young right behind him. Sean Galligan right at this current moment I think would be the points leader, because the closest one to be able to battle him as far as ahead of him in points was Levi McIntyre. We know that McIntyre is back somewhere around the 30th position. So unless something happens to Sean Galligan, I don't think there's any way Dylan Young is going to be able to capitalize and pass Sean Galligan for the points lead, as Dylan Young will get around Sean Galligan for position. That allows him to close in at least one more point on Sean Galligan, the current points leader. Galligan right now would have a 7-point advantage over Dylan Young. But Trent Dunn just got around, so now it would only be a 6-point advantage. And now Daniel Day is trying to get around. It would only be a 5-point advantage. So Galligan is steadily losing positions here. And I didn't mean to go to the helicopter view there. I meant to go to the spectator view. Now Collard's getting around, so that would make it, I think, 3 points separating Sean Galligan and Dylan Young now. So this points battle may not be over, as Dylan Young's actually starting to try to pick up some positions for himself as well, trying to get around Luke Walker there for position. Please ignore the phone in the background. You would think that right now this would be the battle for the lead, Charles Jackson and Dylan Schwallenberg, but it is not. These two, Jake Cole, Henry Nova, have not battled amongst themselves at all. They continue to run single file, and that's allowing them to open up a huge gap between themselves and that battle for third place. And two drivers who really, really need good runs that are running very poorly in the point standings are these two. Jake Cole comes in 36th in points, Henry Nova comes in 35th in points. Both of these drivers really need good runs today, and one of them, if one of them could go to victory lane, that could really jumpstart them into turning their what's been a rather dismal season around as Henry Nova now decides he's going to make that move to the inside on Jake Cole. Drag race between these two. It's almost like we got a drag strip here with this highway. We're going to have to see which line's going to win. I believe the next turn's going to be a left-hander, so Jake Cole would have the advantage, but Henry Nova may be able to draw some side draft. Let's jump towards the back, see if any other drivers may have encountered some problems. Oh, Nova just got into the dirt there. That slowed him up. He just went off onto the shoulder there, it looked like. Lyndon Wright still on pit road. Matthews, Timmons, Campbell, Lamas, they still remain on pit road. Ralph Mason, I think he may be back up to speed now. Don't know what it was amiss on that Grand Prix, but he's now apparently back on all cylinders and continuing on. There's James McLeod. We know he made a pit stop, so I think he's still on the lead lap, though, but he's 31st. Same for Madison Sieber in 30th. There's Levi McIntyre, who came in as the points leader. I don't think he'll be leaving as the points leader because drivers such as Dylan Young, Sean Galligan, and Dylan Schwallenberg are having good runs right now. So McIntyre needs a miracle to happen if he's going to keep himself in the points lead. There's Chris Washer way back here. Cassandra Renzi's way back here as well, along with Bob Jones. Tanner Sullivan continues on, and then you can see all these other drivers. These are all the stragglers after all the incidents we've had take place today. And Sean Galligan has lost the field, actually. That big group of cars he was running with, he's all of a sudden lost touch with them. As we're coming around towards the turn of death here for what's going to be the fourth time. Actually, no, it'll be only our third time, but we're going to be coming down to have 2 to go. Jake Cole, Henry Nova, still single file. They're all good. There was a big pack of cars, though, behind them, and I'm wondering if there's going to be some trouble there. Schwallenberg single file. He's good. Trent Dunham's off, though. There goes Trent in the 8. Trent Dunham, former Mobil Cup Series champ, was running up inside the top 10. He is involved. Oh, Jake Rogers was on the outside there. That was trouble. Sean Henley's off. The Tweenix Racing 69 is off. 19th in points. And a couple of former champions in the NNSCRA are involved here, and I think everybody else may be okay. But, oh my goodness, Sean Henley. Where is he? There he is. Sean Henley and Trent Dunham. Both of them have fallen off the turn of death. It's not the first time that Trent's fallen off of it, but oh my goodness. And Trent's immediately retiring from the race. I think Henley may not be too far behind. Just to remind you all, we will be looking back at replays of these things that have occurred. With it being no caution flags, though, it seems rather imprudent to leave live action to go back and look at replays that we can very well look at after the race is over. But Trent Dunham came into this race 26th in points. As I said, Sean Henley 19th in points. Both of them have fallen off the turn of death now. And Jake Cole, Henry Nova, who apparently look like they're going to be the 2 to settle this thing out, have received the 2 laps to go mark. So now that's changed up here from 3rd on back. Schwallenberg is now in 3rd. 4th place Charles Jackson. Joshua Collard now moves into 5th. 6th place Dylan Young. 7th Harrison Langford. And Sean Galligan currently runs in 7th. 8th place Daniel Day. 9th is Luke Walker. And James Qualls has now cracked the top 10. Right behind him are Jake Rogers and Zachary Robinson as well. There's Roke. There's Rogers. Ironic, George Roke running beside the car he drove last year. Ian Dutta still continues on with Silver Fox, Joshua Michaels, and Wolfgang Mason, I believe, is the last driver inside the top 20 at the current moment. Back up here, there's Sean Galligan. He was scored 7th last time around. Right now, Dylan Young is, I believe, running better than him, but only by 2 spots. So Sean Galligan still continues on, and he still sits in the catbird seat, if you will, as far as being the points leader heading into next week's race at Coca-Cola Speedway. How about Joshua Collard? Nice run for him. Collard was actually up inside the top 10 in points after Daytona. I believe he was there after Phoenix. He was really doing well at the beginning of the season. Now things seem to have tapered off. He fell to 16th in points. This run here today, if he's able to still survive for the remainder of this event, he could be in pretty good shape heading into next week's race at Coca-Cola. He could be back inside the top 10. And how about this guy, Charles Jackson? Good run for him today. This is one of the series that he's really struggling in. He's 34th in the current points right now. That 5 team has really not had a whole lot of luck. It's had a lot of big names in it before. Aaron Williams Jr. comes to mind, and I believe Trek Togger drove that car for a few races. So, you know, it really has had the potential in behind the wheel, but the 5 team has just not had luck in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Joshua Collard's going to go 3 wide with Schwallenberg and Jackson. What a power move by Collard. He's got a fast car. The only problem for these guys is they can have as fast a car as they want, but they've got a huge gap. You can just barely see them back there in the distance. They're little dots looking back from Henry Nova and Jake Cole, the 2 current leaders. Got to give tremendous props as well to Dylan Schwallenberg. We'll talk about him in a minute. But we are coming towards the turn of death for the next to last time, the penultimate time, as Sean Galligan would say. And so let's see if anybody's going to fall off the turn of death this time. We've already had a few drivers fall off the turn of death. Anthony McCurry, Jacob Lawler, Trent Dunham, and Sean Henley. Henley actually still sits on pit road. Still single file between the top 2. They have no worries about falling off the turn of death. They're able to just go around that corner at their own pace. But now we're going to jump back here to this big pack of drivers from third on back. Oh, Schwallenberg got close. Tucked right back in line behind Charles Jackson. Galligan all by himself. He gets away. Daniel D gets away. Wait a minute. Oh, a train just ran through Jake Rogers and Luke Walker and James Qualls and Zachary Robinson. They just got run over by a train. Everybody else, though, apparently looks like they're going to be getting through okay. And we end up having one driver actually glitch through the track onto the beach, which is something I've never seen before, and that was Jessica Shelton. I think she actually had some hang time, too. It was kind of like she was in the Twilight Zone. But the white flag is displayed, and it's displayed over the hood of the U-Haul Ford number 21 of Jake Cole. Jake Cole would love to finally be able to get a win. I've said before, he is probably, with the possible exception of Dylan Poteet, the driver who has had the most abysmal luck at the start of the season in all 3 series, Trucks, Mobil, and Snickers. And if he was able to pick up a win here today, that would certainly help put a little bit of a silver lining in what's been a dark cloud these past 5 weekends. And to win at a track of this kind, it really is such a physical and mental strain on drivers and their equipment, really would be a real great testament for Jake Cole to be able to put on his resume. But Henry Nova has not gone away. Henry Nova is still there, and we know that Nova's been able to get alongside of the 21 before. He may try and do it again here at one of these parts of the racetrack. Both these drivers come in running very poorly in the point standings, 35th and 36th respectively. Both of them want to leave with the extra 5 bonus points of winning this race. Regardless of which one wins, they're both going to leave with good points-paying days. But, you know, Henry Nova has never been to victory lane yet in an NSRA event. Jake Cole, it's been quite a while for him. I believe Jake Cole's last win, if I remember correctly, was back in Season 6. It was a Snickers Cup Series event. As here comes Nova. I told you Nova wasn't done. Here he comes on the inside line. And he is going to clear Jake Cole, it looks like. He's got to pull in front of the 21, and he has done so. Wait a minute, though. Jake Cole's not going away quietly. Now, Jake Cole's got to be careful here. He'd love to be able to go back on the outside of the 32, but he doesn't want to go there onto the median, which is where he would have to go in order to fit his number 21 to the left side of, or that would actually be the, yeah, that would be the left side of the 32. So he's going to bide his time here, but he's all over the back bumper. This is going to be a good battle between these two here coming down to the stripe. Jake Cole now peeks out to the outside. To the right side he's going to come. He's going to try and get the side draft, but Henry Nova will have the preferred line heading into this next corner because it's going to be a left-hander, I think. Or is it a right-hander? It actually might be a right-hander. I don't know. Going to have to see here. Oh, it is a right-hander. So Jake Cole makes the right move onto the right side. Let's see, though, if Nova can get that run on the outside line here. Here we go, into the right-hander. Nova trying to keep tabs with the 21. Jake Cole trying to clear him. Looks like he succeeded. And he opens up a little bit of daylight between himself and Nova. But Nova gets the run on the high side coming off that corner. He's going to move into the left-hand lane. Jake Cole continuing to run in the right-hand lane. Jake Cole right now is the leader, but wait a minute. Henry Nova. Oh, Nova lost a lot of touch with him. Holy cow. He's now a full car length back, so now Jake Cole comes through the tougher parts of the racetrack here, trying to not only keep the lead, but hold off Henry Nova. Is he going to scrape the guardrail? No, he doesn't. Neither does Nova. So this could be it. Jake Cole just got to make a few more turns. A left-hander, then a turn of death, but he's got Ralph Mason up ahead, a slower car, who apparently is not up to speed. Is that going to come into play? No, he clears Mason. Mason lets him go. Jake Cole's going to clear the slower machine through the final corner, past the 80-foot drop with the turn of death, and Jake Cole is going to come down the front straightaway and pick up his first win of Season 7. He's going to win the Checkers versus Career 300 here at Thornton. Henry Nova is going to get second place, a great run for him. Where's third? Third place is actually going to be Harrison Langford. Excellent run for the 60. Fourth place will be Dylan Schwallenberg. Dylan Young gets fifth. Sixth place, Joshua Collard. Jake Rogers looks like he's going to get seventh. See if they're going to score him there. Yep. Eighth place, James Qualls. Galligan, who will be the new points leader heading next week's race at Coca-Cola, gets ninth. And completing the top 10 was Zachary Robinson in the 24. Daniel Day, after his win last week at California, great run in 11th. 12th was Luke Walker. Charles Jackson gets 13th. 14th, Joshua Michaels. 15th was Zach Rogers. George Roke, 16th. 17th was James Silverfox. 18th, Ian Dutta. 19th place will be Austin LaPlante. And Kyle Corbett completes top 20. Then 21st was Wolfgang Mason. Drew Austin, 22nd. Tanner Sullivan in 23rd. 24th, Cassandra Renzi. Bob Jones, 25th. 26th place, I believe, is going to be Chris Washer. Levi McIntyre, who came in as the points leader, looks like he'll finish out the day in 27th. 28th will be Madison Seaver. 29th, James McLeod. And I believe the last car to finish the race will be a lap down. That will be Ralph Mason in 30th place. But that is your race winner, Jake Cole. 35th in the, or 36th in the point stands, I should say. And what a great win here today. It came down between two drivers, but it was a good battle for the win there on that final lap between those two. And a lot of drivers coming away with well-needed performances here today at Thornton. Let's jump back now. We're going to show you some replays of the different action that took place here during the course of this 5-lap event. Well, here's a look at the first incident that took place. This was coming down right into the very first corner. Something's going to happen here with the 89 of Kyle Matthews, which is going to force him off the track. And I don't know where the contact's going to begin, but we're going to find out here in just a moment. Oh, Tanner Sullivan slides up into Ralph Mason. His car snaps loose and straight up into the 89 machine of Kyle Matthews, who had nowhere to go. So that's how that happened. Does anybody else have oh, Ralph Mason actually spun it around too after Tanner got into him. And so that's how those three ended up spinning out and losing some valuable positions. Can't jump back here to the 09. There he is. And there's the 20. So Sullivan, Mason, and Kyle Matthews all ended up getting together after Mason and Tanner Sullivan made contact. And that is what involved those guys. Now let's jump and see what happened. I believe the next incident, actually, amazingly enough, is going to happen off the turn of death. No, actually, the next incident takes place coming here onto the long highway stretch. Cody Lamas going really high. Zach Campbell in the middle. Jacob Lawler down low. Jake Cole and Anthony McCurry also side by side back there. And there's the contact. Campbell gets into the left rear of the 77, turns him up into the wall. Campbell's going to get the steel guardrail as well. Andy Timmons then flips Cody over. Quite a few former winners involved right there. Look at Nova. Nova actually went way down, almost off the grass. McLeod's going to get into, I believe that's George Roke. Harrison Langford gets held up behind this. There's Sieber. She's going to run into the back of McLeod. Lyndon Wright just completely plowed into the back of Andy Timmons. There's Poteet getting run into. McIntyre involved. Chris Washer, Drew Austin, Wolfgang Mason getting pieces of it. There's Sanford. He runs into the back of Mason. That was some hard contact there. And everybody else apparently was able to slow up. But look at this, and a complete log jam there in that corner. And several former winners involved in this one that got some pretty significant damage. Timmons and Cody Lamas. Levi McIntyre, the points leader, got a piece of that. You had Lyndon Wright, 4th in points, involved in that one as well. Timmons was 7th in points. Lamas was 9th in points. And Chris Washer was 10th in points. So a lot of drivers getting quite a bit of impact from that one. And these two, the 77 and the 28, started first and second in this race in row 1. And just like that, the both of them taken out in one fell swoop. That brings us now to the incident off the turn of death. And watch on the right side of your screen. Jacob Lawler side by side with Henry Nova for the lead. Lawler slips off side by side for third between McCurry and Jake Cole. And McCurry is going to fall off. Lawler came into this race 41st in points. This was certainly not what he needed. McCurry, on the other hand, was 24th in points, trying to work his way through the standings. Now, this was certainly not what he needed either. He's going to start barrel rolling down there on the beach. And both those drivers were battling for spots inside the top 5 at the current moment. They could have been in the hunt for the win. And it was right there, too, I think, with the elimination of both these drivers, that it really opened up the battle between Jake Cole and Henry Nova. And as you're going to see the 61 teleport to pit road, we showed you the 77 and the 28 who started in row 1. Jacob Lawler and Anthony McCurry were row 2. So just like that, in one lap, the entire first 2 rows are gone. There they are. McCurry, Lawler, just ahead Campbell, and just ahead of him is the pole sitter Cody Lamas. So the first 2 rows completely eliminated here in the first lap of this race. We have actually received word that for the first time this weekend we've been able to get some inside audio from the Anthony McCurry machine. Let's go on board and take a look at that replay. Let's listen in to what was said inside the cockpit of the number 61 Monster Audi coming towards the turn of death.
No, 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 no! Nope, nope, that was a bad idea.
Well, I ended up missing out on a replay that I think warrants our attention as well, that happened before the drivers Lawler and McCurry went off the turn of death. This was Dylan Poteet going down the highway part. Now, Poteet had been damaged from that earlier incident there with Cody Lamas and company, and I think he's just going to get run over here. Everybody's coming up on him. Qualls, Michaels, Washer, that's Ian Dutta and Jessica Shelton. Poteet's actually going to pull up onto the median for drivers to get by. Oh, and then as he does that, oh my word! Oh my word! He just flat out ran into the median's separating area. I think those are Jersey barriers. There's a water barrel there, but good lord, that's not going to do much to be able to protect the driver. And we know Jessica Shelton gets into something, as I thought I saw her get into the 12 of Joshua Michaels there. We'll see that incident in a moment. But look at the impact here. Look at the impact. Oh my word! I don't know if the barrel was blocking it, so Poteet didn't know there was a wall behind it or what, but that is one hard impact for Poteet. Holy cow. And then as well, jump to the 3. Oh, Shelton, I think, actually is going to go... Wait, where in the world does Shelton go? Where's the 3? There's Michaels. Oh, there's Shelton. Alright, let's rewind. Oh, she actually kind of wheel hopped it up over the rocks there. Let's see. There's the contact with Michaels. Her car is going to go up and over the hill there. Look at the air. Holy cow. She gets catapulted there. Now here's the thing that I found so weird. She's going to start sliding. Now, nothing wrong at this point. She's still sliding, There's not really much grip on grass, so you can't really come to a complete stop. You just got to wait till the brakes kick in and the grass finally stops having your tires slide. Alright, so now she's going to turn it around. Now, here's the crazy part. This is something I don't think I've ever seen before here at Thornton. Watch this. Jessica Shelton's going to continue on her way. There's a lot of open space for her to be able to come back onto the racetrack. But this is the part I don't get. She's going to continue driving. Now, we're going to actually, let's put it into a little bit faster mode. Alright, so she's continuing on. She's going to follow the track, try and find a safe place to be able to come back onto the racing surface. There's a train. I don't even know why the train's there. But watch right here. In just a moment, she's going to enter into what seems to be another dimension. Right about here. Right there. Look at this. She's, like, floating in time. Where in the world does she go? Is that I don't even know where this is. Is this off the turn of death? Is this the beach? Can we go to a different camera angle here? It is off the beach. Wait a minute. How did she glitch through there? Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can find her coming through. Was that her? Watch on the left side of that water there. Let's see if she comes out of that part. Or not the left side, the right side of the water. No, there's nothing there. What part did she glitch out of? I don't even see a car. I don't know where she glitched out of. Can we... This is a mystery, folks. Alright, let's see. Does this give us any idea? No? Can we get a... Is the helicopter view going to tell us anything? Alright, let's see from here. Where is that? That's coming down here. Okay, what actually happens is she drives right off into the quarry. But where is that? Which part of the track? That can't be the backside. Look at how far she went before she actually landed. Holy cow. That car drove full speed off of there. Okay, there we go. Okay, I see there's the water. Alright, so wait a minute. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Okay, we're going to try something here. We're going to try something and see if we can see it. We're going to go to a driver. Let's just randomly pick a driver. We're going to go... That was at around 9 minutes. We're going to go with George Roque real quickly. We're going to go all the way up to the turn of death. Alright, here he is at the turn of death. There you see McCurry and Lawler. We're not even going to get into that. But we're going to go to his right, or his left side camera. There it is. And we are going to turn it to none. Now let's see, back at 9 minutes, if we can see the 3 car flying off. It'll be somewhere around here. Can't even see it. You can see over there, just barely, the train going by. But I do not see the 3 car coming out to land on the beach. Is it that we can't see that from that dimension? Alright, let's try something else real quick. Because I want to see if we can get a good angle of just how far she went. Alright, let's go. We're going to just quickly look from Anthony McCurry. We know for certain he falls off the turn of death this time by. Let's see which direction he's facing. He faces that way. Okay, let's see if we can look from his right side. Okay, look at this. Okay, let's see if we can see from here. Alright, let's jump back to around the 9-minute mark. And see if we can find the 3 flying off. Wait a minute, is that her? No, that can't be her. That's the vehicles out there. But let's see if we could see anything coming off the edge. I don't see anything. You would think we'd be able to see it. But I see nothing. There's no car flying off that corner there on the left side. All I see are the cars that are out there on the highway. So, I'm wondering if this dimension is separated or something. I don't know. Okay, whatever the case, I think we've spent enough time on that, but that is one of the strangest things I've ever seen. She actually drove right off the edge of the quarry, which I didn't even know reached all the way over there. So, that had just happened. So, let's now take a look at the next incident, which I believe was Trent Dunham and Sean Henley both falling off the turn of death. Here's a little look at what happened to Trent Dunham. Again, double wide situation coming off the final corner, and the outside driver is not going to be the one that's going to be the lucky one. It was Charles Jackson this time to the inside of Trent Dunham. Both of them good buddies, but apparently all of a sudden Charles' buddy is going to go bye-bye. And there goes Trent. He fell off the turn of death in the Snickers Cup Series race at Thornton last year. He's going to fall off of it this year. Then back behind him, well, I guess we can watch Dunham's fall a little bit more. Man, that was nose first. Oh my goodness. And then back here, in just a moment, There he is, Sean Henley. Now he's going to be side by side with James Silverfox coming here into this corner. And Henley, who was actually running inside the top 15 at that time, Trent Dunn was actually running, I think, inside, just outside the top 5. Henley's going to come off this corner right there. As soon as those two left wheels seem to hit over the edge, the entire weight distribution, with the driver being on the left side of the car, seems to go towards the gap, that turn of death, and there's really nothing the driver can do. We've seen a few drivers make saves, but Sean Henley not so lucky, and my goodness. Over on his roof, barrel rolling, comes to rest on all four wheels. That's been one of the blessings we've had. It's a lot of the times that when the drivers flip, they don't end up on the roof. They actually end up on all four wheels, but quite a tough break there for Sean Henley in the 69 machine. And amazingly enough, folks, I believe that's actually all the incidents we really had take place here. So, let's get Jake Cole. Came down to the checkered flag here. Let's fast forward it here to that screenshot. Alright, so there you have it. Jake Cole wins the Checkers versus Career 300 here at Thornton. Really exciting race with a lot of unusual stuff too there. I've never ever seen a driver actually drive off into the quarry in another part of the track besides the turn of death. Jessica Shelton just set a historical precedent right there. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finishing results. Overall points, standings, and rookie points heading into next week's race. Sean Galligan survives Thornton to be the points leader heading into next week's race, which will be from Coca-Cola Speedway. But don't go away. We're not done with the Thornton race weekend. We still got a Snickers Cup Series race coming your way. Hope you'll be tuning in for that. And we'll see you guys next time as you've been watching the production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. Oh, and by the way, we're up to 10 drivers who have fallen off the turn of death this race weekend as well. Who's going to be next in the Snickers Cup Series race may be a new record here at this track.